Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. I was just wondering if I could buy this mask, please.
Perfect. This is a beautiful mask. But looking at you, it looks a bit too big for you. Do you know how to properly size up a mask and how to prepare a mask?
No, I only just finished my open water course. I'm not too sure.
Well, that's not a problem. I'll get Mark and Holly across and they'll help you to get your mask set up and get the right size for you.
Thanks so much. Hello and welcome back to Freeflow Fridays. This week, like you already saw in the clip, we're going to discuss picking out your mask from start to finish. What is going to be the best comfort for you, how to customize the mask to make it your own, preparing your mask and diving with your mask.
Yeah, this is really important. You want to be comfortable with your mask, enjoy it so it's not leaking, it's not fogging up, and you can really enjoy the dives.
Yeah, so you've just walked into a dive shop. Maybe you're a brand new diver or you've not been diving in a while and you want to buy a mask. How do we find out what type of mask you want? Now we've got a couple different types of masks. Mark and I have very different masks here. This one's Mark's, this one's mine.
Mine's pretty.
It's really not. They are both double frame masks, so they've got two frames, and you can also get full frame masks. The reason we both have double frame masks is because that's what we've always gone diving with, and that's what we're used to. You'll notice Mark's on the outside here is all blacked out, whereas mine is a little bit more see-through. Can you explain to us why you prefer to have a fully black mask?
Yeah, the reason why I prefer mine is I'm doing a lot of videography and photography. So as you know, anyone who's shooting videos or photos, you're worried about light positioning and everything. And the good thing about this mask is it blacks it out, cuts out light coming into my vision, and I can focus on my subject matter, almost like blinkers on a horse. So honestly, this is why I prefer it. Now, other people don't like it as much, and Holly's going to explain why she doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like it makes me feel boxed in. I like to have light coming from all sides, which is what my mask does. It can come in all sides. Even though it's blue, it can still enter in the sides here, which is really nice. This is also good if you're the subject of a photo because it lets light in so that you can see your eyes a bit better. Yes, like that.
Like that big banner.
Yeah.
Holly photos really well underwater. I don't, because again, not much light's coming into the mask for me, but I'm normally the one behind the camera taking it. Also, this is a military dive mask. It's a Northern Dive one. I love it, and it makes me look like a badass underwater. And the most important thing in diving, after always breathing and never holding your breath, is looking good underwater.
Yeah, but still you don't, so you should figure that one out. Anyways, moving onwards. So you've now picked out the style of your mask. You say, yeah, I want a fully blacked out mask. I want a double frame. Fantastic. That's cool, but you need to make sure that it fits you. So there's a couple ways that you can make sure a mask fits you. The most common way is putting the strap at the front, putting your nose in the little nose hole, breathing in, looking down, and seeing if the mask will fall off or stay on.
Now, as you can see, if you look at that mask for Holly, because it's my mask, it doesn't fit her very well. If she puts it back on just now, you're going to notice when it's on her face that it's pretty much sitting over her lips. And also, it's not sitting perfect inside her face. So when she breathes in, looks down, it falls straight off her face. Now for me, when I wear it, I look in, breathe in, and look down. It doesn't fall off my face until I breathe out again. That shows it's a perfect fit for you. Again, it doesn't really matter if you're going full face, like full glass, one single glass, or going multi-glass, multi-frame. It just depends on your personal preference. Some people don't like it because they can see the middle bit, but as Holly said earlier, we've just always dived with multi-lens, and it's just personally, I just find it more easier and comfortable. But again, it's all about personal preference.
Now, another thing you want to check when you're making sure a mask fits is that when you put the mask on your face, the silicone that's around the mask will touch every single part of your face as it goes on. So this one here will touch all the way around my face. Whereas if I put Mark's one on, I've got a whole heap of space at the bottom here, whole heap of space at the side, and even a little bit at the top. which means if I take this underwater, it's going to continuously leak the whole dive. And I have tried that. I've tried diving with Mark's mask and it sucks.
Well, that's
for me.
But also sizing, you got to think about it, especially having small faces. Holly's going to explain that a little bit more as well.
Yeah, so if you have a small face like me, you don't even have to only shop in the adult section. You can also get a kid's mask. This one I found on the beach, Elbow Beach, about 5 years ago, and it fits me perfectly. It is a kid's mask. It's the US Divers Kids Mask. It's very, very good. I don't think they do sell it anymore, but it fits like a glove. The only reason I don't wear it is because it's all pink and my colors are blue. So I stick with my blue mask. But you can know that you don't have to shop in the adult section. If this one fits you better, then that's what fits you better.
Now, also when you're shopping for masks, pricing. Pricing's really key as well. Now, the reason why is it doesn't actually matter. And why I say that is, give you an example, this is the Northern Diver military mask. It's about 30, 35 pounds when I bought it, and this mask has probably done about 2,000 dives. I have multiple ones of these. These have been great, reliable masks, never had any issues. You can spend $300, $200 on masks, you know, paying for certain brands, their design, they've made it all fancy, and you have lens falling out, problems with them. So honestly, you want to be choosing a mask that fits you perfectly, fits you comfortably, and it doesn't matter if it's slightly cheaper than one of the more expensive, more common brands.
And speaking of comfort, the majority of masks these days come with these straps here. These are fantastic if you're bald because they will not get stuck in your hair because you don't have any. If you do have any form of hair, these get stuck in your hair because they're just a rubber and they're really, really annoying. So we always recommend to put a strap on the back of your mask just for more comfort and so that it's easier to slide up and down your head. Why would you have to slide it? Where a mask should sit on your head is this piece right here. If you slide the strap, I'll use my own mask. If you slide the strap all the way to the bottom, you'll bend it over your ears, which is uncomfortable, and it'll slowly slide down, and then it's easy to fall off of your face. And then there's no point in wearing a mask if it's not going to stay on your face. So to make sure you're comfortable and that mask is staying on your face, you want to make sure the strap is at the top of your head, which is really easily done with straps like these.
Perfect. And something else you've got to think about is mask volume. So you have freediving mask, you have scuba diving mask. Now with our scuba diving mask, they're full volume or higher volume content compared to freediving mask. The reason freediving mask is it's a breath hold swim down. So they want to have and minimize as much air volume as possible in their mask, especially when they're going down and coming back up. Now I was teaching an open water course in the pool on the weekend, and we had one of the girls, lovely lady, her husband is a diver but also got to freediving and gave her a freediving mask. This caused actually quite a few problems for herself in the water. Now, with a nice scuba diving mask, it's got a big open frame, nice high volume. So when you're clearing the mask, you know, you're just looking up and blowing through your nose and the mask is lifting up. Now, when it's a low volume mask, the lenses are smaller. And then this rest the part down is silicone and it's resting gently down your whole cheek all the way down. The problem for her is when she's clearing a mask, pushing on it, looking up, it's not lifting the silicone seal up to blow the water out. Now, the reason I don't like to have someone with those masks is because I don't like customers or divers or students lifting the mask right up under the bottom. The reason for that is when they're trying to clear, more water's coming up because they generally lift it too much. Now, you only need to put a little bit of pressure and blow out to create a little break on the bottom. Unfortunately for her, because the mask, she had to lift the whole bottom up and try and clear a lot of volume space from the silicone as a result. We did manage to get it and work it for her, but she even agreed after it that no, I need to stop using this freediving mask. It was causing her more problems, it's making it more uncomfortable for her. So that's why it's a freediving mask and a scuba mask. For scuba diving, you're better diving with a scuba diving mask.
Yeah. So we've just walked into a shop. You've decided, I want a fully blacked out mask. I want to look just like Mark underwater. It fits you perfectly. Can I go diving with this right now?
No, and this goes into point 2 of mask prep.
So technically, I could go diving with it. It would just make for a really, really annoying dive because when you get a mask, they have a silicone layer on it. This is something that's added during the manufacturing process. It keeps it safe, similar to how a pizza box, make sure your pizza is delivered with something. Think of the silicone layer as the pizza box for your mask. But what we need to do is you need to get the silicone layer off of your mask before you can use it, like opening the pizza box to your pizza. How are we gonna do this? There's a few ways. The old school way, which not as many people are using anymore, is burning your mask.
Yeah, and to be honest, I've burnt loads and loads of masks over my career, and it normally goes quite smoothly because you just burn it and you get the black silicone, the silicone layer goes black and you're burning it off. Now the problem is it's very easy to mess that up, and I have messed up a lot of masks, my own personal masks in the time. When you're burning it, if you burn it across and you're holding it too long, you actually burn it into the lens as well. And then when you're defogging or cleaning or water running into it, it causes a haze on the mask for you and becomes like distortion, really horrible in dives. So it's actually not really recommended to actually do that because it's very easy to damage the mask now. Now you have other options you can do. The old-fashioned way, in my opinion, is the best way. What's the old-fashioned way?
So the way I use as well is get any toothpaste in your house, as long as it's not a gel toothpaste. It has to be a white toothpaste. Put it into your mask, a little dollop in each lens, or a bigger dollop if you've got a full lens. Rub it around for about 5 minutes until that toothpaste gets nice and dry. When that toothpaste is dry and crusty, leave it be. Leave it at least overnight, or if you're just waiting the whole day, you can do it in the evening, and then come back to it when it's super dry. When it's dry, it gets a little grittier, so you're now going to rub it back in again. Just wet your thumb or your finger or whatever, just enough so that it turns it back into more of a liquidy consistency as you're rubbing it in. The grit will get rid of that silicone layer, but it's not super gritty that it's going to scratch at your actual mask. So once you've done that, rinse it all out, let it dry, and repeat the process. I do it 3 times. That's probably a bit extra, but I don't have any troubles with a foggy mask.
Yeah, and if anyone knows Holly, she dives in different types of conditions, strong currents, happy underwater, more extreme the better for her, and will not be able to dive unless it's a foggy mask.
I hate a foggy mask. I hate it so much. There's no point in diving if I can't see anything. And the reason I can't see anything is because my mask is foggy. Just the worst thing ever.
Now, of course, when you're in a dive centre choosing your mask, they're always going to come and help you. But a lot of dive centres also now offer this cleaning pre-prep of your mask, where they'll take it in the back, do some of the scrubbing with some materials they even have, or some like liquids or gels or sponges, and they'll clean it for you and give it back to you. But I would still recommend, yes, it's a great service, but recommend still do the toothpaste after.
And it's not hard to do. You might as well just do it when you're brushing your teeth. So it's now a couple days later, your mask is nice and prepped, you're ready to go diving. You're on the dive boat. You still can't just jump into the water. It will still fog up, which is a little bit annoying. So we have a couple ways to deal with this, and this is through the use of defog. Yeah. Mark likes to use his old-fashioned way, which is fine. Sometimes I lick my mask. That works really well, by the way.
Sometimes.
But I also keep defog with me in my BCD pocket. I use the Stream to See one, which is reef friendly. This is the Divers Ready Stream to See one because he's also sponsored by Stream to See, which is awesome. He gave these to us when we went to his house. He's like a whole bunch of them. Really, really good for defog. Just pop a little dollop in each side, rub it around. My biggest tip for when you're putting defog in before a dive is to put it in pretty early, enough so it almost gets dry. Pop your mask on, jump into the water. Once you're in the water, just fully flood your mask. And then that's just about enough to get rid of any of the like hazy bits you can see. And it still keeps the defog in there so you're not rubbing it all out.
So how much is a little dollop?
Oh no. About this much.
That's about as much as you need to add.
And I've poured it half on the table now.
Now again, as we are partnered with Stream to See as well, you can buy them on the Stream to See website. They are reef safe, biodegradable and environmentally safe as well. We have a 10% discount code we'll put there, and if you buy from them directly, they will ship it to you as well. It's really good, but also thanks to James for when we went to his house for dinner, made us amazing food and gave us these and gave us a show around his dive locker and house as well. It was a great time. Now there is other options as well, as I said. Now, when you're going to be diving dive boats around the world, you're going to find everyone has their own suggestion.
Holy grail of defog.
Holy grail. This one works the best. This one's the best. Like, for example, watertime baby solution is really common in the Caribbean. Here in Australia, they use sea drops, which do work quite well. It's very similar to Stream to See, to be honest. Also, they have, in Rotan, they were using window cleaner, and sometimes use sponges. So every place has their own different ways. Personally, as I said, the Stream to See stuff is great, works really well. But me, I always go with the old-fashioned way. I just find it works really well, but where you just spit in it, give it a rub, up, dunk it, you're good to go. But honestly, I can't fault this actually as well.
Yeah, very, very good.
So it's really important to make sure your mask is ready for a dive, jump in, go in, and be able to see what you're looking at.
Now, the last thing we'll touch on is storing your mask after a dive. I've had a couple problems with my mask where I've shattered the little lens pieces, or the silicone has started falling apart just because of how I have been storing it. So I've recently made an effort to keep it in my mask box, and I'm lucky I have, because in the bottom of my mask box is a great big crack that would have been in my mask otherwise. So I store it in there. Mark just clips it onto his BCD, and his BCD hangs in the staff locker room or wherever we are if we're at home. And that works really well as well. Just make sure you're not putting it in the bottom of a dive box and putting all of your gear on top of it. That is probably the worst thing you could do, because they can shatter here.
Exactly. And Holly's had that a few times, especially if she's lent her mask to someone. And that's one thing we always try and avoid doing, is giving your mask to someone to try and dive with it, because to be honest, if the mask is fitting when they breathe in, it should fit them, even if it's a rental mask. But some people just have this mind block that this mask isn't going to work for them, even though when they breathe in, it's actually right for you. It will work for you. And make sure it's comfortable as well. Now, one thing as well is me and Holly both wear contact lenses, and this will be point 4 of masks. This is more of a little bonus segment. And what we're going to talk about this is corrective lenses. Now, we wear contact lenses. We get asked this a lot teaching, can I wear my contact lenses? I even had a woman the other day, jumped in the water, said I couldn't really see, and I was like, why not? I wear glasses. Like, oh, you got your contacts? And she went, oh, I read up online, I can't wear contact lenses diving. I've worn my contact lens in every single dive, 3,600 dives. She's worn them every single dive, 1,500 dives. You can do it. It's not a problem.
It's totally fine.
It's absolutely fine, not an issue. So the stigma online saying you cannot wear contacts diving is incorrect. You just have to be careful that when you get a watching mask, you just want to close your eyes to clear it, otherwise you might lose the contacts.
Also unlikely though.
But very unlikely. But also, this is where it comes to, if you're uncomfortable to wear contacts underwater, you can get prescription lenses for your mask. Can be like a little bifocal at the bottom, a reading glass bottom, so you can actually read your computer if that's the issue, or it's for distance, you can get the whole lens done. Now this can be done in your own mask. You can give it to a website where they offer this service, and you send your mask in, they'll put them in for you. Alternatively, you can actually buy masks that have those ready prescriptions as well. Mm-hmm. They come in where the mask is already lenses built in, or it's stuck on, depends on what the service has been provided. So don't let it stopping you if you need to wear glasses or contact lenses and you're worried that you can't dive. There is solutions out there for you guys.
Yeah, and that pretty much sums up our mask video. There's only so much you can say about one piece of scuba equipment, but it is a really, really important one, because it's what's making you see everything. And there's not much point in diving if your mask is just continuously fogging up or filling with water, and it's just super annoying. So we just wanted to go over how to make sure your mask is fitting right, how to make sure you're prepping it properly, and then storing it properly.
Perfect. And as always, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next Freeflow Friday.
See ya. Bye.